Okay, boys, here we go. This is going to be answering a specific question from one of you viewers out there. And the question was, how do I create an environment where my team is more proactive versus reactive? And this is obviously can be a big problem and is actually relatively common in most organizations where the teams react to their environment as opposed to proactively identify not only what to do, but what problems may be showing up. And I'm going to deal with that in two separate points. One about being proactive and taking action versus being proactive in identifying problems, because those are two different answers. The most important part about turning either yourself, right, when you find yourself being reactive to the environment and or finding that members of your team are being reactive to their environments, the key piece of information that is missing is purpose, a really strong purpose. When you don't have a purpose, you have to be in reactive mode, right? If I don't have a big driving force driving me forward, I end up having to react to my environment, which then enables the world to give me my purpose, right? That's what reaction is. Reaction is having your action be driven by something external from you. So the stronger your internal purpose is, the less reactive you'll be because you're driving, that's the definition of a purpose, that which drives a specific end. You're being driven to a specific end. So the specific answer to your question of how do I get a team to be proactive versus reactive is it's your job as a manager to make sure that they're crystal clear about their purpose and how their purpose aligns with the purpose of the organization. When you have alignment there, they'll be proactive. The second part of this is being reactive to problems. Now, this is an even bigger problem in most organizations. It blows me away in the companies that we work with how often the same person or the same group encounters the same problem over and over again. And they almost take pride in being able to put out fires. I always look at these organizations as really being firefighters versus being whatever their domain of expertise is, because they come in every day at work to work with an intention to do their job, but in reality, their job is just putting out all the fires around them. Now, the key in being reactive is very dangerous, right? Imagine being a SEAL, going out on a mission, encountering a problem, say with your parachute, barely getting it to work before you land, go back, be like, oh, tell your buddies about how bad that problem was, and then not do anything about it. We wouldn't live past one mission if we enabled the same problem to show up time and again. And so for us, it was critical to be proactive in identifying problems before they occurred, because the problems we ran into would kill us. We did that through a means of what we called contingency planning. So our job every time we went into a mission was to plan the perfect mission and then to plan the 19 missions that were going to go wrong. Because the one thing we knew for sure was the perfect mission never happens. So every time we went into anything, the conversation was always around what's supposed to happen and then what could happen, what could go wrong. My organization knows when they bring a problem or a project to me, I'm always, the first thing I'm going to say is the problem I see with that is, I go immediately into what problem could come up. So one of the ways that you can bring this into your organization is that every time you're in planning mode, right? And planning mode could be either official or when you're giving someone tasks or direction, you can ask them, what do you think could go wrong? And you'll see a lot of times they're kind of shocked of, well, I'm not sure. And being able to create that environment where problems are not a bad thing, problems are things that we identify ahead of time and put solutions in place before we go into action, it creates a really solid learning organization. So the two key points to this, how do I make my team more proactive and less reactive? The first thing is if you want to drive proactive actions, make sure that they are very clear on their purpose, you're very clear on the purpose of the organization, and that their purpose and the purpose of the organization meet up. If you want to create an environment where your team is proactive when it comes to solving problems, put in contingency planning. So every time you're in a planning mode or a tasking mode, you're asking those around you what problems they think could come up. And once those problems are identified, being able to assign them to someone to take care of before they occur. When you start doing that, you're going to have a very proactive team. Proactive teams not only are going to operate better, but they're going to be more fulfilled, because whenever we're in reaction mode, our experience of life goes down. Hopefully that helps. See you next time.